more importantly, come and join the viewers at the stadium, at online, to watch the Women's Series number 3 here unfold. This is the semifinals. This is the draft of game number 1 here, AG Global, going up against Code Unknown XARA.
Yeah, and this is going to be a fun one. I mean, I think going into this, there was going to be a lot of questions. We were talking about just going in, is it going to be very meta or not? And you see Seong on this one, he's as serious as it can be, right? You know that they're going to be loaded for bear. They're not going to be messing around, especially in a best of 3. And so it's going to be like the first pick, first draft is going to be ever so important for AG Global here.
Very important, very familiar bands here. Other than the shirt, obviously being a prior band onto the side of Code Unknown XARA, maybe a bit of a pocket pick here for OWL on the side of AG Global. But the Dharma here, once again, is definitely one of those picks that doesn't always seem a bit of a priority in the first part of the banning stage, but more so just kind of like, hey, let's take some of those kind of like comfort picks, some of those great performance players, performance heroes from the enemy team. But here is a familiar pick nonetheless. It's Chicha, it's a Ford Magen, and it's obviously a great first pick onto the blue side because you can flex it into jungle, clash, or even into the farm lane.
Yeah, you have so many different options with that hero. Plus, it's just like the latest hero or the second earliest in terms of release. Yeah. So this is a hero that some teams might not be 100% prepared for, and just being able to kind of, you know, counter draft it. But it looks like Code Unknowns are going to go a little bit more stock standard. They're going to go with the Bond Weaver, the Diadea, and Soul Guide, which is of course the Augurin here, really shoring up the jungle and giving themselves a fighting chance against Kitty, who you know is going to be wanting to be aggressive from that jungle role.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we've got locked in here the potential of the Agudo, which is obviously a great pairing up against the Augurin here in terms of obviously early game potential, early game pacing here, and generally one of my favorite picks. So, but again, I mean, you could, if you want to be so fragrant with this pick as well, you could flex into the farm lane also, which is something I've been playing quite frequently. Pairing that with the Zhongfei here, they're going to have a solid front line already, especially once they hit that level 4 point with the Beast himself. But then over to the side of Code Unknown XARA, you've got the lore accurate combo, the Diadea, as well as the Augurin. And if there's one word that really pairs those two heroes together, it's sustain.
Yeah, a lot of sustain, and that's going to definitely help them out. But AG Global on their end, they're going to go with the Beast Zhongfei. This is a hero that I know it's a completely different league if we're talking about the KIS4, but it has been very popular there, and there's been a lot of success with that Zhongfei. It's the 5th most picked. It has a 10 win, 5 loss ratio, 66% win rates. It's a very good hero and super annoying to deal with, and you know that Jia Jia is going to just set the perfect Umbrella Outburst come those team fights.
Oh, absolutely. Just on point. I mean, we've been seeing some fantastic Unbridled Outbursts throughout the Season 4 Invitational as well, right? Like, some of them have been quite a bit whiff-worthy, maybe sort of like put on a bit of a comedy reel, but then some of them have been so mighty, it's kind of just turned the tide of an entire team fight. So yes, Jaja on the side of AG Global, definitely going to be looking for that runway of pain when it comes to that Unbridled Outburst. But the next few bands coming through here, mid lane orientated onto the side of AG Global, you've got the Majestic Guardian as well as Celestial here, and then over to the side of Code Unknown XARA, you've got the Board Master as well as the Pack Leader, which Chano has been one of those definitely more dominant heroes into the farm lane. But with this pickup of the Byron and the Xiao Xiao, so Breeze Heart as well as the Spark Mace, it looks like that that Forge Maiden is going to be looking to go into the farm role.
Yeah, actually, I mean, if you're looking at how this draft kind of just rounded out AG Global right now, this is completely a lineup that is loaded for bear. They have so much damage. You're getting it from the Chicha, but then the rest of them have control. You have slow siege. This is a problem if you're Code Unknown XARA. This is a lineup that if they lose a single person and they can't actually fight into this death ball that is AG Global, they're going to slow siege you and just literally roll it down mid. This is going to be a tough matchup for Code Unknown XARA.
True, very true. But I think onto the opposite side as well is that obviously AG Global, they go for obviously the Forge Maiden into the farm lane, and you're going up against Steady Will, the Flowborn marksman, who necessarily has a bit more of a better range, especially once you get to level 4 with that ultimate, right? The Arrow Storm. That's going to be a little bit oppressive here for the side of AG Global. So I feel like Jaja as well as Fire, they have to be paired together constantly to make sure that that 1v1 matchup down to the bot side of the map is going to go to the favor of AG Global.
Yeah, I definitely see that as well. I do agree with that. But going into this, I think it's all about that execution, right? I mean, they have a decent number of ways to kind of protect the Ogryn. All eyes are going to be on the Ogryn and ensuring that she gets as much farm as possible, because this is that win condition. If Miumi is able to kind of be left unchecked and is able to constantly farm and put that pressure on, it's going to be tough, right? But at the same time, you're looking at the AG Global lineup. The counter picks are there. This could be, it's basically like, have they one-upped the draft of Code Unknown XARA here?
I mean, a beautiful draft regardless, right? I mean, the Lubang game number 1 here over to the side of Code Unknown XARA. I mean, sometimes we see the Lubang come through when we have the likes of the Lamb or the Masashi come through. Never really when the Ogryn comes through, but I feel like if you look at to the side of XARA, if the Diadea falls early, the sustain starts to drop there as well. So obviously having that sort of like secondary tank, having that global ultimate to be able to drop onto your teammate, give over shield, is going to be quite oppressive here for the side of Code Unknown's XARA, especially taking the teleport as well. So not only do you have the teleport from the ultimate, you have the teleport from the common skill as well.
I mean, you could be literally anywhere on the map and you can have a lot of fun doing it, because that hero, just the Battlefield Command, I mean, the teleport, you have so many different options, right? But at the same time, you need to ensure that you're constantly farming. I think the biggest piece is like, who's going to get that prioritization, right? Obviously, the Ogryn, the Flowborn Marksman, these are top 2 that you're looking to get. But Liu Bang, he needs to get his own as well. He wants to be also that secondary tanky guy that is able to just jump in and ensure that they make the proper saves.
Yeah, I feel like 1v1 matchup into the top side of the map there. It doesn't really favor Lubang that much. Okay, bit of a knock-up here into the mid lane.
Yeah, a little bit of damage there. But, I mean, it's just a little tick for tat in that sense. But I like the fact that AG right now are being aggressive. You want to contest. I mean, you might not get it all the time, but it's one of those things where you're now in the heads of the enemy team, and CU are not going to like their jungle being invaded here.
Oh, absolutely not. They don't want to see any of that resources being taken up of the gorge too early for them. It looked like CU Turtle was able to actually get the Fire Phoenix into the early part of that one as well. So that definitely gives over a bit of an advantage to XARA at this moment in time here. But down to the bot side of the map here, you just saw from the Cheech and the Forge Maiden is that they have that huge kind of like cone poke skill at a certain level within their itemization, just like that. So it's a good piece of wave clear, but also can be quite impactful in the early game in terms of damage onto the enemy heroes.
And I think that, I mean, they're going to be happy with that one-on-one matchup. I mean, Jaja is waiting in the wings for a potential jump in, but once Fire gets going, I think that she's going to be really tough to deal with. Flowborn on the other side, the marksman that is with Turtle piloting her, needs to ensure that she does have that range. She's able to get that farm and to be able to kind of fight in that mid to late game where she can kind of really turn it up with those arrow storms.
What you try and tell me, for lack of better words, once Fire gets going, she'll be on fire.
I see what's going on right there, but I do agree. Yeah, I mean, let her get going in terms of that farm. That's the biggest thing, right? I think all of these players are phenomenal in that sense, where they're able to, understand their assignments and able to play things to that T, right? As the Chicha, this is one where you want to be aggressive, but you got to get some sort of farm so that you're able to do enough damage. Because again, if you're not getting any sort of farm, you're really kind of like a range creep, and it's kind of lackluster at that point.
Yeah, I mean, interesting as well. The thing I just noticed here for Jaja is the fact that they've gone for the common skill for the stun here. So obviously the 2 or even the 3 main heroes on the side of XARA that you'd be looking at trying to, if they go in for an engage to get that like 1-2 second stun off, you're looking at kind of the Lubang, either the Ogryn, or even maybe even the Diadea, right? Where it's committing a little bit too much with that basic attack, but into the bot side of the map here, there is a lot of health bars being fallen down here. So already we can sort of see that it doesn't matter that Fire lacks that range or is going to be a victim to the Arrow Storm. They're still putting on a lot of pressure down to the bot side.
Yeah, and I mean, they didn't get any kills. Obviously, you want first blood, but this really sets the tone, right? Now they put pressure in, and you look at Fea. She's looking to just recall on back, and now you're leaving Turtle all alone, and this is a really tough situation. You have the lane that's going to be crashing in, plus they're now able to jump on top of you. The flash on 4, they're going to deciding to go, but Turtle flashes on his own. Here's the battlefield command in return, and they counter it. They get first blood, and they take down Fire as well. That's a double going the way of Turtle.
Absolutely beautiful. Obviously, you do see the Breeze Heart using the ultimate as well as the Gorge mobilization just to keep away me and me, oh my. That double kill down to the bot side, almost turning into a triple kill here. Really put XARA back into the Gorge here. I mean, they were behind by about 1k gold at that point, but soon turned that around.
I feel like every time it's me just like makes those types of saves, she needs to just like declare it's a me as she shows up, because that was such an amazing play to set it up, and you know that they're never gonna forget it. But they take the Tyrant as well, and CU XARA right now are really striking back, and they're hitting hard, especially taking that big neutral.
Yeah, I feel like maybe she should adapt more of the, I don't know, it's like, here's Johnny, but in turns take away the in-game name to reflect that, because that's definitely a lot more deadlier than the it's a me, right? That seems friendly, but what happened down there was none other than friendly. But to be honest, they were able to get that Tyrant as well, which is a great effect here for XARA. I mean, they were already kind of surmising a little bit of a lead in terms of the kills, in terms of the actual domination onto the Gorge here. But AG, regardless and through it all, is still maintaining a slight gold lead here.
Slight one, and that's just the power of AG, right? Oh, now Turtle's in a bad spot. Fire's looking to do some damage, just running it down, and here comes the friend, and it looks like they do enough. Turtle just trying to stay alive. The Heartlink is not enough, and Jia Jiao finally stomps him down.
Yeah, that's where you kind of see the effective of that stun there. I mean, Fire might be the next victim.
Yeah, no real way to go. They're just too many members of AG right now. They got revenge. They send in the party. They take them all down, as well as taking down that bottom T1. That is a huge swing for AG.
Oh, massive swing. I mean, it felt like there was kind of just like the main character of a movie, right? Like there was just waiting for the person to just land all the blows, and then the person around like, oh, okay, is that it? But now we're going to need for more, like that knockup from the Gorge mobilization, but also the attack from the purple there, really impressive. This is why I love the Gudo pick. The Wild Rider gets to put the pressure onto the back line, and Lady Chen does fall as well.
A down as well. I mean, this is just the problem, right? Once you're down a member, AG will literally just 5-man it, roll it down mid, because they have this power that is the Agudo, and then you have all of these guys in the back that is able to get those stuns off, so it's not even safe. Your positioning needs to be flawless, but you're down a member as well. That's going to be a rough situation, and also why this AG draft is brilliant.
Yeah, very rough itemization here as well. In terms of obviously the mid lane, going for the Venomous Staff, I feel like is a really good call here for the side of AGOL, because they were able to obviously counter any of that early game sustain from the Organ, right? So good itemization there. Obviously, we do see into the jungle that we have the Spark Forge Dagger going onto the Agudo, right? Obviously, for that on-hit effect of the attack speed, completely disregarding the equipment that we normally see into the jungle, which is that Giant Axe. They're going to go for the Rapturous Fight, so they're going full aggression here on the Agudo.
Oh, they find it. It looks like they've got enough. It's me looking to go down on this one, and they just run it down. They had that stun lock. They had all of that control, and now that Crimson Golem looks like that's been stolen away as well. And now CU XARA, they're on the back foot.
Yep, XARA now on the back foot here, especially in terms of what, even after that early game aggression there. But oh, Spark Base.
He decides to go right in. He's not even scared. He goes in to flash away, just trying to stay alive. They're diving the T2. They don't really care. They understand the assignment and how to be aggressive and looking to just take them down. That space given, they're going to look to take it away with this bottom T3 as they're looking to go. Nice Storm Strike is going to be on to 2. Sirium looking to take that one down, but they take the bottom T3, and Kitty continuing to put that pressure on.
Yeah, massive aggression. I mean, it just feels like moments ago we were talking about the AG, even though they were behind in the kills and the neutral objectives, they were like only having a slight goal lead. But if you look at top side of that screen now, you're looking at around about 5K, 7K, 6K gold lead here for AG Global, which is going to be monstrous before the 10-minute mark, all it.
It's not always about those kills or that early game tyrant. I mean, things are looking good. And you're thinking, see you. They're really fighting it back. And it was close. But the lanes, it's all about sticking it in. I mean, It's Me had to just drop to the bottom lane. That creates a little bit of space for Cerium to get going. And you're seeing this net worth lead. It's a 1.2K advantage for Cerium right here as she's just kind of dominated that top lane because, again, It's Me had to help out in the other lanes.
Yeah, and I mean, Miyumi as well having to kind of like help out in the other lanes also. You can kind of see this reflect into her gold differential against Kitty on the side of AG, right? Kitty's currently around about 6.7k, whereas Miyumi is around about 4.6k, and now leading away that red buff.
Doing enough, and they're just gonna look to run it down. Oh, well, they don't really care. They take the down, the double kill. Miyumi is down for the count. They're diving the tower. Here comes the Umbrella Outburst, and they're looking to dive the T3. Ooh. They get 3 more as they add on, and now It's Me is all by herself as she limps away into the fountain in AG Global. I mean, yes, they lost Kitty, but they've taken away everything else.
They literally have this one remaining member alive. I mean, A gets back online in about 3 seconds, and it doesn't look like AG can actually finish it here just yet, right? Obviously, trying to get that pressure into the mid lane, maybe try and get that T3. I mean, what's the rush, right? Like, it's free 10 minutes. In terms of scaling in their comp, it only gets even part of their CU XARA if they do decide to take this a little bit further on the side of AG Global.
This is going to be a really tough one for XARA to go back from. I mean, it looks like Miyumi is just really far behind. Doesn't really have the space, and now they're losing towers in that top lane all the way from the T1 there. And now Cerium just walking away and threatening, and nobody wants any of that action.
No, none of it. I mean, especially not when you're, the Spark Mace, right? Obviously, this is the main initiator here for the side of AG in terms of Spark Mace, or even the Agudo, the Wild Rider here. Actually, he's dropping the Gordon mobilization, but he is definitely going to be the spearhead here for the side of AG Global as well as Jar Jar. But right now, we just saw moments ago that top side of the map had all 3 turrets still alive, Hauler. It's now down to the high ground turrets in both the top lane and into the mid lane here as well. And now that all-important 10-minute mark, this is where we start to see things start to come to a bit of a conclusion.
Oh, nice 3 minutes. Oh, they've got them locked in. They were all together. They were grouped up, and they're falling like flies. Feya's the last one. The Stampede, the control is on point. Kitty's going to get that one, and it looks like It's Me's the last man. How is she going to be able to hold on this one as they have all 5 members looking to just continue on, but they're going to just turn their attention on the T3s. They want to take those down first.
The turrets do fall down here as well. It looks like the Crystal is going to be the next thing that goes down here. Hauler, the knock up onto It's Me. It's no longer It's Me. It's a game number 1 for AG Global.
I think that was a very clean game, and why AG Global are one of the best teams here in this women's series. They are so good, so clean with how they move around the map, taking all of those resources away and making it just look like very, very easy in that game 1.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I don't want to kind of like undershadow what Code Unknown XARA did in that early game, right? Obviously, we saw that double kill. It seemed pretty monstrable. It seemed pretty sizable as well, right? Because they almost got that 3 kill going over to the side of XARA, but also while that was happening, AG still cemented themselves within the gold lead and the gold resources, and ultimately Honor of Kings is a game of gold, right? If you don't have the cash, if you don't have the moolah, you don't have the automation, and that's where things start to get a little bit harder for you to come back, and that's exactly what happened there for Code XARA.
Yeah, and you rightly pointed out, right when Ol got that venomous staff, you knew that things were going to be rough for CU XARA, right? I mean, the amount of heals and the sustain, they want that. But the venomous staff just limits all of that, and it made it really tough for them to take any sort of team fight. And once you're kind of falling behind, once they're taking those pickoffs, it was pretty much just crumbling in front of them, right? They had no answers to deal with the death ball that was AGG.
Yeah, I mean, Death Ball, a Fur Ball, whatever you want to call it, right? Obviously, the Wild Rider into the jungle really played a really good great key part of the pacing in the early game, right? And I feel like that was the main reason that was able to kind of maintain that gold lead, is because obviously the farm pacing of the Agudo. If you don't try and contest the Agudo at level 1 whilst trying to get that release, right? Because obviously once you knock the release off, which obviously just kind of enables Agudo just to kind of get one of those first camps a little bit faster, if you interrupt that, it goes onto cooldown, and then obviously that really kind of like blunders the pace potential there of the Agudo. So we saw none of that from Code Unknown XARA, so I feel like that may have been probably one of the reasons, or at least the start of the problems for XARA here. But let's look at the breakdown of these post games.
Yeah, and I mean, if we're talking about that early game, where that the early lead that Turtle kind of had. I mean, with those first two, kills, they got the nice little play with the Tyrants. It was setting themselves up, but then the rest of them, they were like, oh wait, after that, we only got one other kill, and it was with It's Me. So this is a rough one, especially if we're looking at just the stats in a vacuum here. It just seemed like AG. It was more about the gold graph and how they were able to kind of compound that wealth with taking all the net worth away, as well as just growing sizable and making it so difficult for XARA to really take any sort of team fight.
Yeah, I mean, just look at that though. 9k gold to about what, 4.6 there onto the side of Miyumi there towards between these two junglers. Like, that's a day and night difference. And this just goes back to the point I was talking about before we got into the nitty gritty here. The meat and potatoes of game number 1, the post game, is that gold is really the important thing here for your team in terms of either comeback potential or just basically a snowball potential here, which is exactly what happened here for AG Global. They just snowballed all the way through that match. And obviously you point out the optimization there, that venomous stab for the side of Owl just really kind of mitigated any of that early game sustain. But he kind of looked towards Kitty as well. Kitty, when we saw the optimization in game, they went for the attack speed boots, which is obviously just going to kind of enable Agudo to have a bit more faster attack speed. It means they can clear the camps a little bit easier. But then when kind of things got a little bit more tough, right, they changed to the magic resistance. They got the succubus cloak because they knew that Lu Bang's magic damage, the magic damage from Diadea, as well as the Lady Gen, could have been a threat to them, but they changed halfway through. So I feel like that's like kind of like, if you're not doing this in your ranked games at the moment, make sure you change your shoes before you go into the mud, right? Because that could be a difference of surviving a team fight or falling, and then that's where the stabilizers fall off the bike here. And if you're AG, you don't want that to happen, and it's definitely something that didn't happen if you look at that gold graph.
Yeah, and it looks like, I mean, I'm not sure if I'm supposed to wear those shoes, or change them before I enter the mud pit, but it looks like the MVP on this one is going to be Jia, the beast, the amount of sustain, those controls, the setups. She was setting up everything for this one in terms of just getting those team fights going, and really why this Zhang Fei and the beast and Jia is just so good on this hero.
I don't know. I feel like that's too many kills, man. 3 kills for a support. I mean, that's like kin level support, right? Like, he just wants to be a carry. It gets 3 kills. It should be 0, but the assists are definitely there, right? Obviously, 10 assists really shows you here that Jia is a fantastic support player on the side of AG Global. Regardless of that double kill into the early game, it did not make AG Global tilt one bit. They just came back even harder.
Actually, that was the most impressive thing, because it's like frustrating. You're trying to be aggressive in that bottom lane, and you gave up two kills, and then they go right back at it. They're like, actually, we're still strong. We know. But look at Syrium coming in with that Storm Strike, just the amount of setup, and then the rest of them. You have like this wombo combo, a CC galore team, and you're just able to just run it down, and you have no real way to continue fighting. You have, like, things are getting caught off, and look at Jia, the Umbrella Outburst, perfectly set up for yet another kill for Fire, who was just doing, like, what, 91,000 damage on the teams right there. It just was a serious nuisance for XARA here.
I mean, the one key part of this whole highlight for me is the team fight potential here onto the side of AG Global, right? Like, it's not just only the knock-up from the Stampede, it's not only the knock-up from the first skill of the Spark Mace, but it's also the knock-up of the Gojo Mobilization. Like, that's where Agudo, the Wild Rider,